We the jack shit sippers. We sippin' jack shit sippers. We sippin' jack shit sippers. Alan hit me on my phone, he said I need...
Woo! Let's get it, boys. Week 8, 2025. All right. So far this year, our listenership for the podcast has been down a little bit. So I have been going a little longer, putting in some facts, a couple more reviews than I typically would. So not sure if it's because of the length. So this one is going to be faster than it has previously. My goal is to keep it between 15-ish to 18 minutes. All right, so let's get into it quickly. Last week, week 7, your commish said that Ryan would beat Cameron. Both of these teams were 500. The loser would start creeping into that Sacco race. The winner would kind of take the division that they were in. I said Ryan would win and probably win comfortably. Well, boys, I was right. Unfortunately, I was right because Darren Waller, the greatest tight end ever, did not come through for Cameron. He got hurt, and that just totally sunk his team. So without Darren Waller, Cameron only scores 113, easy 200 week if he would have had him, but he didn't. So Ryan takes the game with his highest score of the year, 184 points, despite injuries and having a hospital. Ryan is looking good. So Ryan takes the win, and he also takes the lead in his division at 4-3. Moving on to week 8. So this week is two of our most talkative chatters. We have the mental erections, the Wizards, Dre and Fisher, versus the Dirty Vikings, Steve. These teams are projected both for 135, 137, so basically within 2 points of each other. They're also both 2-5. So this is a big game here because it's our 2 Sacco contestants. That is right. We have no other 2-win teams. We have plenty of 3-win teams. So whoever gets this win is certainly out of the thick of the Sacco race, but the loser is the clear lead for the Sacco. So it is a big week. So far on the year, the Mental Erections have only scored 1,093 points. The Dirty Viking at 1128. So the Viking certainly has the advantage there. But I will say the Wizards, 1,180 points scored against them is the highest in the league. Oh, nope, I take that back. TJ with just 4 points more, Sacco del Toro. The Viking down at 11-13. He's probably the third or fourth. So both teams having some bad luck this year. They're scoring fairly good, not tops, but not terrible either. So let's get into the matchups. All right, the Wizards bring Drake May at quarterback and Jackson Dart. I mean, they are bringing the youngins, much like I said in the previous podcast. They really like the young players. Read into that as you would. So let's look at Drake May. Real life football, Drake May has been fantastic. He has one of the prettiest long balls in the league. He completed 21 of 23 passes last week. He certainly is on fire. He does also run, maybe not a ton, but runs enough to keep him in the games. He's had, some 10-yard weeks, but he's also had a 60 and a 40-yard rushing week. So he's got a good floor too, but he doesn't need it. I mean, he is throwing, 250 yards a game and 2 touchdowns pretty much on average. And this week he gets Cleveland. Cleveland is a tough defense. We can make fun of them all we want, but their defense is no joke. They are 30th in fantasy pass defense. In real life, they are a top 5 passing defense. So he's got his work cut out for him. I still like him, but I don't think this is the 30-point week like he had couch him at the 20-point range. Jackson Dart, my other fantasy league that I run, I have Jackson Dart and Cam Scattaboo, so I have become a quasi Smash Brothers, Bash Brothers, whatever fan. So I have watched a lot of him, and man, I don't know if he's good, but he kind of reminds me of Daniel Jones's rookie year in the Giants. I mean, he just kind of runs around and makes stuff happen. So I don't know if he can keep doing it, but he just did it against Philly 2 weeks ago. He just did it against Denver last week for 27 fantasy points and 37 fantasy points. Oh no, he gets Philly again. Jalen Carter is back though this week, so could be tougher. I mean, I don't know how you bet against him at this point. The guy's started 4 games and he has 21 or more points every game. So clock him in for 20. Maybe he runs some and gets that to the 25 plus point range. He does have 3 or 4 games with over 50 yards rushing and has 3 or 4 games with a rushing touchdown. So if you put all that together, 25 points isn't crazy if he does that again. So I actually like Jackson Dart as a top 10 quarterback the rest of the year. That's right. I said it. All right, moving on. We're going over to Steve's side, the Viking. Steve's got some bye weeks, so we are in the bye-nado. He is missing Jaden Daniels, who is out due to injury, and Matt Stafford out on a bye. Oh, and his third quarterback, Bryce Young, also got hurt last week, so he is hurting. He spent a boatload of money on Tyrod Taylor, who at this point I think is confirmed to start, but he was limited in practice. So Steve, Steve's in a tough spot. Hopefully he can play Tyrod. If not, I don't know what he's going to do at quarterback. But I will assume he plays. He does get Cincinnati. It's a great spot. Garrett Wilson is still questionable. I'll give him 15 points. Now, since he does not have a super flex second quarterback, we will just kind of go over that spot here. Right now, looks like he's starting Terry McLaurin. He doesn't really have many other options. Maybe Tyler Algier, but unless you want to start Rondé Gadsden, I doubt it. So as long as Terry plays, I think that's who's going to be playing. And Mariota's been a fine backup. I would not be worried about that. The problem is they get Kansas City. So, man, I think combined between Tyrod and McLaurin, you're looking at like 25 points. I mean, they might, maybe 30. That basically is going to match Jackson Dart. So this is a big advantage for the mental erections. However, the Viking is favored to win. So how does that happen if he doesn't even have a second quarterback? Let's check out the running backs. All right, so at running back, we have the Wizards with Bill. And Bill has Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, for those who don't listen to the footballers. He's got 11 points because he plays Kansas City. That's his projection. He's only been over 11 points twice. I know he's fun and all, but he's not really getting it done. Without Jaden Daniels, like I said, Mariota's fine, but yeah, I'm not very confident here. I will take the under on 11 points. I think closer to 7 is probably more likely, unless he just happens to fall in the end zone, which I guess is possible, but I wouldn't count on it. Then they got Jaylen Warren. Jaylen Warren has been a real-life star. I mean, he's played a little injured here, but he has been a real-life star for the Steelers. He is a do-it-all running back. He is running. He is catching passes. The only thing he is not doing is scoring touchdowns, so that really limits his upside. He has 1 receiving touchdown on the year. That is not good. Aaron Rodgers is going to go ham here. He gets Green Bay. Green Bay is not only the 28th worst run defense to go against, but if they're within the 10, it's going to be Rodgers to DK 4 times in a row. They want Rodgers in a revenge game. Yes, that's a narrative, but we know who Aaron Rodgers is. He is an emotional wreck, and he said it when he played the Jets, how much it meant to him to beat those guys, quote. So man, he's projected for 12 points, and I don't even know if he gets there. He's gotten there all year except one week, but yeah, I think I take the under there too. So looking at the flex spot, he has R.J. Harvey. Both teams are starting 3 running backs. R.J. Harvey, darling in the preseason, but has done not much of anything in the season. He has 1 game where he has had 14 attempts. Every other week has been 6 or less. Of course, he was supposed to be this big pass catcher. Let me read off his targets, not even his catches. 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 4, 2. His receptions, 1, 1, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1. I get it. It's bye weeks. So you're hoping that they play Dallas, this high-scoring game. It's actually on the over-under sheet. The highest score of the week is a 50.5 over-under. The Broncos are favored. So you hope that means R.J. Harvey is getting some work and some catches. But, again, 7 points. So not great. So why is Steve favored? Well, here we go. Saquon Barkley, Bijan Robinson, and King Henry. He has put together a hell of a running back core. At the beginning of the year, we thought Saquon and C-Mac would be the best running backs in the league. With Ryan, we were wrong. This is clearly better. Yes, Saquon has underperformed, but he also is in a revenge game versus the Giants. The Giants' defense is okay. They're literally exact middle of the pack. Yes, he has had some down weeks, but he still had 18 carries last week, 12 carries the week before. I mean, he is getting the ball. So against his former team, I'm going to guess they want to get him into the end zone. I'm going to take the over on his, well, I guess not the over on his average. I mean, it has him at 16 points. So that's what I'll guess. I mean, I would guess him right around 15 points. But let's move on to the prize here. Bijan Robinson. Not only is Bijan fantastic, he gets 15 to 20 carries a game, literally, or he must not catch the ball. No. The guy catches, on average, 5 passes a week. 6, 3, 5, 4, 6, 6. So he has clocked 2 100-yard games and 2 receiving touchdowns this year through the air. So he just does it in every way. And he gets Miami. Miami's pass defense looks like it's good on paper. It is not. The only reason it looks good is because the best way to beat Miami's defense is to run a lot. The last 3 running backs Miami has faced have scored almost, or have rushed for almost 200 yards, literally 200 once, 140 and 160. So they are not a good rush defense. Bijan should absolutely tear them apart. If I had Drake London or Kyle Pitts or something like that, I'd actually just be worried that they're just not going to pass the ball at all. I would give this ball to Bijan 25 times. He should have his highest total year. And actually, if I'm on Steve's side with Terry McLaurin in my Superflex, I'm looking at Tyler Algier because I think Bijan might just get benched in the third quarter, and you can see Algier go off like he did last week. I know he is questionable, but he went off not last week, the week before, 10 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown against a bad Buffalo rush defense. So I don't know. I might play him over McLaurin. Maybe not. But I think there is a chance there. So Bijan looking like a huge advantage. He might outscore all 3 of the directions running backs. I don't know how confident I am in that, but he's going to outscore 2 of them. I'll take that bet if anybody wants to make it. So yeah, huge advantage there. And then, oh no, Derrick Henry, he's been so bad. Yeah, whatever. Guy gets Chicago. It is cold. It is snowing somewhere. The Yeti, he is out. He had 24 carries in his last game, 15 the week before. He's going to be fine. If Lamar comes back, I would have a lot more confidence. They're saying he's questionable, but they're a one-win team. Baltimore has to win. I mean, they're in their heads, they are still Super Bowl contenders. So I think that Lamar gets out there, even if he's injured, and just the threat of Lamar really makes Henry a lot better. All right, 13-minute mark. Let's try to stay on task. Moving on to wide receivers. Going over to the Wizards side, we have Drake London. Oh, no, I just mentioned him earlier. Keon Coleman and Rashid Shaheed. Yeah, I mean, look, London on paper is against a tough Miami defense, but I just explained why. I mean, he could have a good week. He's certainly capable of it. I've made my thoughts known on London being kind of a dark horse, top 5 type receiver in the league. I think he has that ability. Penix just has not been anywhere near as good as we thought, or at least that I thought. So he could, have a big game, but I just don't see why he would. I think you're praying for a touchdown in like a 6 for 60, or you hope for 1 bomb. He's not going to have 16 targets or something like that. It's just not going to be necessary. So So I don't think he hits his projection of 18 points. And in fact, his entire season, he's only had 2 games go to 18 or go over 18 points. So he's kind of been boom or bust, and I think this is more of a bust week. I'd take him for closer to 12 points. Keon Coleman, hey, go Knowles, but I cut this guy. I cut him for a reason. Buffalo does not throw the ball. When they do throw the ball, they just spread it out. Maybe he falls in the end zone. He's got 2 touchdowns on the season, but that's it. That's your best choice. And in one of the games that he got a touchdown, he still only scored 10 points. So I have no desire personally to play him again. Bye weeks, Wizards hurt, JSN, Marvin Harrison on their bench. So not their fault. It happens. Trust me. I get it. I'm starting Sterling Shepard. So, yeah, I'll go for 7 here. Rashid Shaheed, Tampa. Tampa's been a weird team. They're scoring a lot of points, but their defense has been pretty good. And what's the over-under? They have Tampa and the Saints over-under 47, so some points expected. Saints down, so Bucks are favored by 4.5. Yeah, okay. That's not a bad week. You would hope that Rashid gets some play there. You would hope, even though, the Saints defense, Coop. I don't know what voodoo you did to get them to not be the worst in the league, but they're not. They might not be great, but they've been very solid. So, with all of these players out, Godwin's not going to play. Mike Evans is out. Ibuka's still nursing an injury. And Baker looked bad. He missed some passes last week. He made the right reasons and everything else. He just missed the pass, and I don't know if that's timing or what. There was a couple plays where Tez ran into other players, so you can't be confident that Tampa's going to come in here and score 40 points, and they're going to have to pass a lot. It's probably going to be closer than you think. So, I can give him a 5 for 50 maybe. I think that's his high side. I think more than likely he's more 4 catches and 40 yards, 30 yards. His ADOT is terrible. He has multiple weeks of 4 for 40, 4 for 40, 4 for 20. He's caught 4 passes every single week except 1. So you know where he's at. He's got to get a deep ball. And and by the way, Spencer Rattler will throw the deep ball for sure. I just don't know that this is the week. So yeah, not a whole lot there. Moving over. So yeah, gosh, that's a tough group. Moving over to the Viking. Well, look, Jamar Chase 3 weeks ago, nobody wanted, or 4 weeks ago, scores 29, 25, and 38 points in the last 3 weeks, given against 2 bottom pass defenses. Detroit and Pittsburgh are the 6th and 8th worst defenses, and Green Bay is the 15th, so middle of the road defense. But last week, his first week of Joe Flacco, he got 23 targets. Look, the old man knows who his best player is, and he is going to throw it to him. So I don't see any reason why he doesn't get a bunch this week. So I certainly like Jamar Chase. Moving over to the rest of his team, Wandale against Philly, another kind of 5 for 50 week. You hope he falls in the end zone. Since Dart has been in, he's had 5 for 30, 6 for 80, and 6 for 90. So maybe a little more than that. But again, Philly's defense has been solid, not great. Matthew Golden, I think, is worthless. Love is very similar to Josh Allen. He just throws to who's open. I don't care that he plays Pitt's defense. It doesn't matter. They shred the ball out, and you're just hoping and praying for a touchdown. All right, that's it for the preview. So, who's going to win? The Wizards, if they make it, they are going to rely on huge weeks from May and Dart. That is their advantage, and it is one of their only advantages. Oh, I forgot to cover tight ends. They do have Ferguson, who, has been doing fantastic, but with CeeDee Lamb back, he has not been as good. He only had 29 yards last week, 33 the week before. He just keeps scoring touchdowns. He did have 2 last week, but, they scored 44 points. I don't think they score 44 points against Denver, and I will always take CeeDee Lamb for TDs over Jake Ferguson. So I think you get lucky if you get a touchdown out of Ferguson this week. Meanwhile, Tucker Kraft does get Pittsburgh. Now, that I think makes a difference. I think that he's the most likely on the Packers to get a touchdown, where I don't know about Golden, but I would give Tucker the advantage actually this week, which sounds weird to say against Ferguson, who leads the league in touchdowns for tight ends. So, yeah, I really just don't see any advantage for the Wizards outside of their quarterbacks. They are going to need huge weeks there. Meanwhile, we do have Steve with horrific quarterbacks, but his running backs are just so good. I'm taking the Viking. Get out of it. Middle directions, going straight to the Sacco. We'll see how the rest of the league does. We've got some matchups. A week down the road, we might have 3 in the race for the Sacco. We will see. All right, boys. Try to shorten it up. 20 minutes exactly. Peace out.
We the jack shit sippers. We sippin' jack shit sippers. We sippin' jack shit sippers. Alan hit me on my phone. He said I need